Hey everybody, this is Glidercat and it's time to play. We're back in Sweet Transit. I'm playing the kind of closed beta. Let's pick up where we left off. I think last episode we looked at the tutorial and we did the basics and we did the village building. Let's jump into expansion here and see what we're going to learn. Because in this tutorial, you'll learn how to set up industries outside your towns and connect everything together to move workers and goods around your network. Trains are the key component in your expansion. However, they need fuel to be efficient, and without it, goods will not be delivered in time. A station with a fuel source is needed to refuel a train. Okay, makes sense. Coal mines produce fuel for trains. Any steam train that stops where coal is present will automatically load coal as fuel. All production buildings need workers and regular trains for supply and export. All right. Regular trains must just be like the non-passenger trains, I'm guessing. Next. See the production chain for goods? You can hover your cursor over them. Hover over the coal icon. That would be down here, I suppose. It says used to run locomotives, and then it's kind of showing us the fuel value, it looks like. All right. This coal mine does not currently have any trains that distribute coal to the warehouse or the village. Add a route that connects the coal mine to your warehouse and assign the coal train to that route. And it's telling us assign route coal 1 distribute to the train 741. They're pointing us over here to train 741, so let's go click on that. And then down at the bottom, we'll pick a route. What was it? Coal 1 distribute. Yep. Boom. Ooh, we're on hyperspeed all of a sudden. I'm going to put it down to normal speed. This coal mine currently does not have any trains distribute. Oh, okay, we already did that. Where's my next? Is there a next button? Okay, here we go. The warehouse is another key component in your colony. Construction materials can only be used for building if they're first stored here. So that's kind of a big deal, right? We can't do any construction unless we've stored the resources in this warehouse building first. Okay, most buildings in your colony require certain goods for upkeep. These are automatically taken from the warehouse. That's kind of like building maintenance, I guess. Right now, we're running low on wood. Hover over the wood icon to see where it is produced. So down here, we've got the little warning sign. Hover over that. And then, let's see, it says right now we have only one sawmill that produces 60 wood per minute, while the upkeep is 64 per minute. Build another sawmill near your rail system. So yeah, we can see kind of in this little pop-up the bottom. The production right now is 50, and the upkeep, I'm guessing that's across our whole kind of colony here, is 64. So then it's telling us the bottom production is too low. All right, let's do what they tell us. I can see an arrow in the bottom left. Let's just scroll on over to where they want us to build the sawmill. Looks like it's down this way. Build a sawmill. Let's find it here. Coal mine. Sawmill. Rotate this with the Q key. Plop this where they want it. Boom. A sawmill does not produce anything on its own. Trees are needed to produce wood. Expand the sawmill with tree plantations. Build plantations. So they're already selected. You can see I've already got it here. And it's, I believe, what is it? Tree nursery. So it's this icon if it wasn't selected. Let's do it. So they're kind of guiding us cell by cell how to do this. Boom. Like if I click one, let's see. I control click, that'll allow me to build anywhere. They're going to guide us one by one, cell by cell, but we need 120 of these. So what we can do is the old click and drag and see if we can't do this where they want us to. We'll see. Hopefully this won't break the tutorial. But this is going to be the faster way of doing it rather than placing 120 clicks. Okay. You can also expand your wood storage. With more storage, man hours will not be wasted if trains are running late. Okay, it's kind of like a buffer, right? Again, it's already selected. That's this guy, wood storage. Let's just start clicking. This time I'll do them one by one. Boom. And boom. Boom. And boom. Now that the sawmill is built, we need to connect it to the network to bring in workers and deliver wood to the warehouse. Okay, next. In order to move people and goods to and from your sawmill, a station is needed. Each station can be connected to a particular building by building it next to it. By building it next to the building. All right, let's do that. Station down here, maybe. Small station. Kaploink. Rotate again. Q or E. We'll do the rotation. Pop that into place. Boom. Build extra platforms to extend the station and allow longer trains to stop here. Again, it looks like it automatically defaults to me having the station platform in my little build queue here. So let's just kind of paint by numbers here. Now that you have a station, you'll need rails for the trains to travel on. Build rails parallel to the platform. All right, this part of the tutorial, I did this tutorial just before recording this, and man, did I struggle. So I think I sent some feedback back to the developers, so hopefully that'll get improved quickly. But we want to be very precise just in the tutorial on how we place these tracks, because we can't, at least in the build that I'm using, I can't delete tracks in the tutorial. When we get to playing a regular game, it's super intuitive, super easy, and everything works. But the tutorial in this particular spot is a little fragile. So I got to be kind of deliberate here. Got the tracks. I'm going to just lay down some tracks over where they've got these ghosted ones for us. So I'm clicking and dragging. Boom. They're giving us some new guides. You can see the train path kind of comes through down this way in this direction. So I'm going to start from here. Where do I start from? Here or here? There's no correcting it in the tutorial if you make a mistake. I think that's going to work for us. Let's go. Boom. Okay, and there's one last segment, and then we're in the clear on this kind of sticky part of the tutorial. Oh, man, I can't remember. Did I do it? I didn't do it there. I did it here. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. There's a section of track coming down. We're going to connect up to this little intersection that's already there. So, boom. Okay, we made it through. That's a kind of a tough part. So if you play and get stuck there, just realize it's part of the tutorial. I'm sure it'll get it fixed. Okay, this rail block will work for a single train, but as the network gets more complicated, we run the risk of collisions. Rail signals divide lines into blocks that can each be occupied by a single train, and trains won't attempt to enter an occupied block. All right, is there next? Okay, build rail signals. That's these two guys here in the middle. How about, I guess we just do the regular one, rail signal. Grab that. And they're showing us here in the little image where they want them. If you look close, there's a new signal up here. And there's a new signal right down here in the corner. So we're just going to put those down where they've indicated. I think one is there. I'm just checking the screen to make sure I got it right. A little pop-up there. And I think down here they want it. Boom. Okay, very good. I'm going to hit escape to get out of this build menu. We have a sawmill ready and connected to the rail network. Now we need to create a workers route that transfers workers between Dituva 1 station and the Wood 2 station. Open the routes UI with Control R. You can do that, or you can click on this little icon up here at the top left. I'll do the Control R this time. Boom. Create a new route. Click the little plus sign, and they want us to do Dituva 1 station. So let's pick that for the first one. Boom. Select station 2 is going to be Wood 2 station. Wood 2. Boink. Then click Add Wait Condition and choose Time Passed for Destination 1. Okay, we did that before, I think, in the other tutorial. Last episode. Same thing here. Boom. Time passed. All right, the train depot allows us to build new trains using the train presets interface. Open the train presets UI by selecting the train depot and clicking add train to queue. So they're guiding us here to the depot. I guess we actually have to scroll over and click on this thing. Boom. Okay, add train to queue. Boom. All right, they're telling us what to build. Add a ST10 locomotive. This guy here. We can see the train being assembled on this line. Very cool. We saw this from the preview video. My original preview video, I remember seeing the screen. It looks pretty good. Add an S10 wagon. That is this one. Okay, pick a route. Select a Tuva 1 to Wood 2 route. Again, we're transporting workers from our town to our new sawmill. Boom. Click build. And we should have a train. I've got to pause. Let's hit play. Okay, well, now we need one more train to carry the wood from the sawmill to the warehouse. First, we'll need to create a route for the train to follow. Open the routes again. Create a new route. Okay, we'll need to create a new route for the train to follow. Okay, we want wood 2 station here for the first place. We're going to pick up the wood. Then we're going to take it to the warehouse. Warehouse 1, and then wait conditions, time passed. You can see the other options, right? For full cargo, empty cargo, if you're unloading stuff, like don't send the train until it's fully emptied. And then it's basically the same thing for passengers, but they're suggesting time pass, so that's what we'll do here. For the train itself, we need wagons that can transfer wood. The flat wagon F10 can do just that. Open the train presets with Control T, sure. Add a new train, or add a new preset here. These are kind of like blueprints, I believe. All right. Okay, let's click on that guy. We'll click on these wagons. 1, 2, 3. Select wood 2, warehouse 1 route. Wood 2 to warehouse 1 route. Build. Boom. Okay, congratulations. Now you know everything. Everything you need to continue to expand your colony. Try connecting the potato farm to your network if you'd like to keep expanding this colony. Potatoes are a requirement for worker residences, so they need to be delivered directly to your village instead of the warehouse. I'm going to click continue, but we're not actually going to do this, but they want us to, or they're suggesting we could route our potatoes just like we did the sawmill. Okay, and then we just get this advice thing. Hey, you're running out of goods. Structures require upkeep. Make sure your production is higher than consumption. Production is too low for wood. Seems like that might self-correct since we just added a sawmill and a train, but let's hit got it. What they were suggesting we do, I believe, is look for the potatoes. And they're right in front of me, right? Right there. Looking to see if there's any more. Here's potatoes. They want us to create a route, take this into town. But basically, we just need to connect up to our rail network. We're not going to do this because I ran into a problem with this section of the tutorial earlier where I can't build a bridge here. So I'm not sure if that's an issue with the tutorial or if there's something I'm missing, but I'm just going to skip it for now. Let's move on to the next tutorial. Exit the game. Tutorial. Signal. This one is awesome. All right. I mean, this tutorial is really, really, really good. All right. Rail signals separate rails into blocks. There can only be one train per block. Here, a colored block means that it is reserved by a train, and a white block that is free. That it is free. Okay. The whole purpose of signals is to have controlled and collision-free traffic. All right. Rail signals look at the block in front. They will allow a train to pass only if the block in front is not reserved by another train. So the block in front of a signal here is what the signal's going to look at. Next. The signal block starts and ends at signals. Here, a train cannot pass the lone wagon, this guy here, because that wagon is on the signal in front, on the signal block in front. So here's the train that wants to get through. Here's the signal. Here is the signal block. Right? All this, I believe that's red. I'm colorblind. I believe that's red, though. It looks like red to me. And we got a train, and we got a carriage here, wagon, and that's preventing this train from moving. Okay, build signals to separate the wagon from the intersection and open up the path. And they're kind of guiding us here on the screen how to do that. Place signals around the wagon. Let's do it. Where's my build menu? Do I just hit B? Let's see if that'll do it. B won't do it. Let me click here. Okay, build this rail signal. I think what we want to do here is kind of isolate this intersection. And we've got a signal over here that's kind of isolating it, but we don't have one over here that's kind of isolating it. So let's put one here. Boom. Okay, now that train can kind of move through here. And we've got the same situation over here. We need to kind of isolate this little segment from this intersection block. So I think we can just put a signal right here. Boom. The train is now happy it can move by, and we move forward to the next little tutorial. Okay, you can also hold and drag with the left mouse button to place multiple signals. Having multiple signals close to one another means that more trains can use these rails and travel closer to one another. Note that signals have direction in which trains can move. All right, drag to place signals. So we'll select it, and then if I click anywhere, and I just start dragging if I drag a little, I get a ton of signals, right? Like every cell gets a signal. If I keep the left mouse button dragged or pressed down and I drag a little more, boom, it spaces them out a little bit. A little more, boom, it spaces them out a little bit. So that is kind of cool and is going to come in mighty handy later on. We'll just go with the max since that seems to be the way they're guiding us. So I'll just let up on the mouse here, boom. And now we've got signals galore, and these trains can kind of get pretty close to each other. I can escape if I want to see them. Okay. On to the next little lesson. I'm going to zoom out a tad. With signals, you can have many trains moving together. You need at least 4 signal blocks in the circle. Press B or right mouse button to close the build mode. See which blocks trains are using. Okay, so they're giving us a little animation here showing what blocks trains are using. The red train is, I'm guessing this is red again, is the only one that's moving. So that train is consuming all of the track basically. So we need to put at least 4 signal blocks down. Let's do it. Could do that technique that they just showed us, right? Let's see if they're going to let me. I click and drag. Maybe not in the tutorial. They might not let me do it. All right, let's put signals next to or right before these intersections. That's always a good idea. Boom. And then how about before this intersection up here? I gotta kind of hover over the actual track. Won't let me put one here, so that's the next best place. Boom. And then let's see. Why are these guys not moving? So now we still have this huge block, right? We can see, okay, one train broke free, but we've got this huge block here, if you can see it. When I mouse over it, it highlights as white. We don't want a block that big. So how about right after the intersection, we put a signal. Boom. That gonna help us. And maybe here. And how about some more, right? Look at this. It's kind of, let's do this little trick. Yeah, let's do this. We probably only needed 4, but if we have a bunch, that's going to solve our problems, I think. Trains are moving. We're making progress here around the circle. We'll complete this tutorial in a second. Boink, done. All right. Signals can be a one-way or two-way. Make a two-way signal. Just place 2 signals on the same rail piece. They have their uses, but be careful with two-way signals. All right, so we've got kind of a unique train here with the engines facing in both directions. Allow it to go in both directions, obviously. So let's put the signals down. We want to make this track 2 directions. So they said just place a signal on the opposite side of the track. I'll just hover over the track, and there's 1. There's 2, and I think there's a 3rd, right? There's 3. Now that track is able to go in 2 directions. Boom. Next little exercise here. Sometimes simple rail signals are not enough. A train can stop in the wrong place and block other trains. Chain signals are designed to overcome this issue. Let's go next. Okay, chain signals won't allow a train to pass unless they can safely leave the next block, right? So regular signals let a train come through if they can just make their way into the block. Chain signals won't allow a train to pass unless they can actually leave that next block too. Okay, you can also place multiple chain signals in a row to cover a larger area. Use chain signals if you do not want a train to stop in a specific area, such as an intersection. So that's all key information on understanding chain signals. Worth pausing and reading that or rereading it if you're not familiar with signals or not super comfortable with them. I am not super comfortable with train signals, so this is super helpful. Next, using normal rail signals, an intersection could easily become blocked by a train stopping on it. A good piece of advice is to place chain signals going into the junction. Using chain signals in this situation will keep your network moving. Okay, we'll hit next. Maybe they'll tell us to do this. Or are we supposed to do something here? I'm not sure. I'm going to hit next. Okay, this intersection is being blocked. You can unblock it with chain signals. Replace the signals going into the junction with chain signals. Okay. Pretty straightforward. We got one little junction here, one intersection. And we're going to replace the signals that are going into that junction with the chain signal. And that's going to solve our problem. They're kind of illustrating this. This one was allowed into the block here, but now it's stuck. Because the next signal is saying don't go forward, and it just happens to be blocking the track from this for this train. So if we change these intersection ones to chain signals, boom, and we change this guy over to the same way to a chain signal, boom. What that does is says don't even move into the next block unless the one after this is free for you to move into, so you can clear it. Yeah, the tutorial just moved to the next step. Let's see. Stations with multiple entrances are also a good example of how to use chain signals. A train calculates its path when it starts moving. The station entrance might be blocked on arrival. Because of this, a train always recalculates its path on a blocked chain signal. So, what they're saying here, and I'm sorry if I'm over-explaining it to people who already really understand this well. They're saying if a chain signal is blocked, and it says, hey, you cannot clear the next block, so I'm going to signal don't move in, because you're not going to get through. You're not going to make it through this block, the next block. I'm going to flag red. The train says, oh, if that path is flagged red, I'm going to see if there's another path to get to where I want to go. That's what it's saying here. because of this, a train signal always recalculates its path on a blocked chain signal. So in this particular case, there's multiple paths, 2 paths, to be exact, on where a train could go to get to this station. So they want us to unblock the station. It's pretty straightforward. They've kind of given us the answer. We just need to put a chain signal before these intersections. So let's do it. Boom. Now, no one coming in is going to block this, you know, it's going to get stuck in this middle section, which is also called a block. I don't know if we need one on the way out. Let's see. It looks like the tutorial is going to let us out of here. Let's see. Just curious if we need one on this side. Looks like they're going to let us get by without it. Okay. Next little lesson here. Try unblocking this network using only 4 extra signals. All right, let's take a look and see what we got as a problem. What we have as a problem, I should say. All right, we've got 2 wagons that are kind of stuck in the middle here, and then we've got these large blocks. This one looks green to me, and you can see all of this is in green is considered one block. We want to isolate these wagons off onto their own little blocks so that our choo-choo can make it through. So, and they want us to only use 4 signals. We don't have to worry about chain signals here. It's all about just regular rail signals. So let's do it. We did this before, right? We saw that one of the ways we did it last time to isolate the center section was right once you get in here, put a block or put a signal. So let's try that for 1. And then we wanted to isolate this little intersection. Put one there, 2. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it in 4 blocks. Then we wanted to isolate this. Boom. Right, so now that wagon is on its own little block. I'm only supposed to have one more signal left. How about here? Using only 4 extra signals. Can't do it. Can't be done. Let's see. No, I can isolate it. Okay, let's see. Let's back up for a second. That's a block. And definitely need one there. This guy is going to take up everything if we don't put one there. This one I thought was already there. Let's... Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to delete in the tutorial. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I may not be able to do this in 4... With only 4 signals. I'm going to put one... That one counts as going in. I'm going to put one right here. What did we add? Did we add 5? It seems like it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought we did 5. Maybe we did 4. Either way, we're moving forward. This network can be unblocked with 2 chain signals. Replace rail signals with chain ones. Unblock the rail network. All right, we just need to replace 2. We'll use our little guide of wherever there's an intersection, that's where we got to worry about things. And our intersections are right here and right here. And this is just a loop. I think this is our main issue. So I don't want this train moving into this block unless it can clear that block and basically make its way onto this little path here. So this needs to be a chain signal, I believe. Let's do it. Just build on top of the regular one. And then I think it's the same situation over on this side. So let's do it. Boom. Just kind of mirror images of each other. I think that's going to get us through. Let's look at the progress on our pop-up here. It says 18, 19, 20. I think we're going to make it through here. We can escape if we want to see the trains. I think that's it. Again, we don't want the train to enter this block where the intersection is, the shared piece of track, unless it can make its way all the way through. It's like, don't even start unless you can get through. And that's what the chain signal is all about. All right, we don't have many more of these left. You need to use both rail and chain signals to unblock this network. Try using rail signals first, then upgrade some to chain signals. This task is the hardest, but it's optional. All right, let's try it. Let's take it on. I think this is the last one. They're asking us to start with just regular signals. That's these guys. Boom. We know intersections, right? Intersections all the time. We gotta have them. So let's put one there, and let's put one here where this train's going that way. Right? So train's coming through here. Don't go unless it's clear, and you don't go unless it's clear. What else? We've got, let's see, this situation here where we want to isolate this little block. I think, let's see, from the rest. I think we want one here. And then one right before the intersection as usual. This path going through here, the white line, also is making its way through an intersection. So let's put signal there off to the right. Boom. That, and then we've got, maybe we want to isolate this little block. See how this block is all white, this huge amount of track? Let's see if we can make that a smaller segment by just putting one here. Boom. Let's see, are they moving? These 2 trains are waiting for this big block to clear. What if we divide this up a little bit and put another signal here just so that we've got a parking spot for a train here and it'll free up this segment. We can do the same thing over here actually. Let's put a signal here. We'll see if these are kind of move through or if they get stuck. It looks like they're all taking turns. No one's blocked, but it's not super efficient. Right? I think we'd actually complete this tutorial if we just left it as is. But let's do the chain signals and see where it makes sense to put these. So what we might want to do is, let's go back to the regular signal. Let's make this intersection like a tiny little block in both directions. So I'm going to put another signal here. And now we've got a little block going this way. And I'm going to put another one here. So now this little intersection is isolated to about as small as we can get. And I want to convert these signals going into that intersection to chain signals. So it's like, don't move into the next block unless you know you won't block the intersection. So that's why we got a chain signal here. That lets this guy go all the way through. Same thing with this one. Should be able to get through. In fact, we've got an issue here where we might want to put 2 chain signals in a row. Did I put one here yet? Doesn't look like it. Definitely want it coming into the intersection. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, this train is kind of getting a little bit stuck and blocking the intersection. Let's put 2 chains here. Boom. Now it's saying this signal's going to, this signal right here that I'm looking at is going to say, don't even move into this intersection unless you can clear this and this little Y joint. Don't even block it. Because we've got 2 chain signals in a row. I think that might unstick that portion for us. Now this, I'm not sure why this train's not moving through. See what we get. We got a huge... This is a huge block. Let's put, let's make this a smaller block so we can get more trains on it. We need to pay attention to the direction of the train. So we want the signals here. I'm basically just making parking spaces now for where trains can sit and wait to keep things moving. This looks like a decent spot. All right, let's see how that arrangement looks. Works for us. Okay, trains are starting to move. Looking at the little progress here, we're up to 39%. We could use, looks like there's an intersection here. I think I'm going to leave it. I think we're going to win here. But what we need to do, what we could do, let's just do it. Let's do it. Because I think this is probably what we need. I think we need a block over here. Boom. That this intersection is made as small as it can be. Small amount of shared track. And then we need to do our chain signal routine here to say, hey, if you're going to go into that intersection, don't move into there unless you know you can make it through. So we'll make this a chain. And we'll make this a chain. Let's see what that does. Hopefully I didn't break it. Again, I'm not an expert with signals at all. But I think we've got regular signals. We've created additional blocks so trains have a place to kind of park themselves with them taking up the minimal amount of track. Looks like this is just a little too tight, right? This train is too big to fit on this little tiny segment. So let's move this signal out. I can. Not sure if the delete's going to work here on the tutorial. Boom. I'm going to hit X. Okay, it is working. We'll take that one off and we'll move it. We'll move it forward. Maybe right there. It's still going to be tough because these guys are... We've got some bigger trains. Maybe... Yeah, let's... Okay. Well, it looks like we achieved our goal. We could have optimized it maybe a little bit, but we didn't have any collisions and there was no deadlock. Everything's kind of moving through. So they said, this covers all you need to know about signals. You are ready to create your own rail networks. I think that's the end of the tutorials. Let's see. Boom. Nice. All right, let's wrap this episode here. We are through the tutorials. Next episode, I think what we'll do is start a new game. And I think it's going to walk us through a bit of tutorial. We may have a little bit of kind of refresher guidance when we start a new game, but that's fine. We're learning, not a big deal. Hopefully you enjoyed this. We got through all the tutorials. I want to give a special thanks out to Glidercat patrons and channel members. Your support allows me to make this content, and I deeply, deeply appreciate it. If anybody else would like to contribute to the channel and join that small but very appreciated group of people, there's links to do so in the description. And we will be back with the next episode soon. For now, it's the Glidercat signing off, saying thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.